Hi you guys. So now that it is basically the week of all of the Marvel releases, so the season finale of season and or series finale of Moon Knight has been released. We don't know which it is yet. It has not been confirmed if there will be a season 2 or not, since there was a big debate about post and everything, so don't know if there's going to be a season 2. I don't know. But now that season 1 is done, and then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out in a couple of days, it's essentially the week of all the Marvel releases and finales. So in this video, it is actually going to be a what's good for Moon Knight. I'm going to try and not have any spoilers for Moon Knight because I do want people to watch it, like actually watch it. And I know I talked about it previously in a different video, and that was more like at the halfway mark. But now that the show is complete, now that everything's kind of at a close, I want to give final thoughts, final kind of reviews on it, and kind of close the book on it, if you will. So Moon Knight, watch it. And scene. And we're done. No, I think, and again, I touched upon it in the earlier video as well. I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's the first Marvel character, property, show, etc. to deal on mental illness. I think it's the first show, property, character where it's displayed the first time you see them. With some of the other shows, like with WandaVision, we had to like learn and see like a lot of that character and kind of grow to know them instead of it just being established right then and there. And so it's not like, just right when the movie starts or right when the show starts, like, I have anxiety or I have I have depression. No, it's you watch the movie or you watch the series, it's a continuation of growth for said character, said property, and that's when you see that go on. That's like been a lot of things. People have been like, oh, that's not the first one. We got it, like we get it, not the first one. It's just, I think the first time it's been identified in a property from a character just right off the bat. But aside from that point, the pacing for it being a series, yes, the pacing is very quick, but I think with the story and with what's happening, it makes sense. Everything is happening very quickly because of the urgency that's happening. So it makes sense to me. That's not an issue for me. There's a lot of action to it, which again, it keeps me engaged. A lot of the previous Marvel shows, as I talked about in the last video, didn't keep me as engaged because some parts just fell flat. And maybe it was because it was more story-based instead of more action-based, and that's fine. Story is also important. Story is also here. But you also need something sometimes that keep people engaged. Because let's face it, if people want to rewatch a movie, why do you think people like Thor Ragnarok? Why do you think people like certain Marvel properties more than others? Because they have either comedic elements, they have more action than others. That is why. So there's that. As for the season series, as for the finale, just gonna call it a finale. As for the finale, it did feel like a little rushed. However, the end credits scene, it made up for it tenfold. Like, it was not a bad finale by any means. It felt a little rushed. Like, you know, we're trying to like speed up the ending. Like, we're coming to a close. We gotta speed this up a little bit. But let me tell you, oh, that end credit scene made everything better. Because I just knew. I was like, no, we ain't done. We ain't done, boo-boo. Like, we ain't done. I fast forwarded through that. I'm like, we ain't done. Ooh. But you get a good backstory as to this character. Like, how did this come to be? Like, you know, how did Steven come to be? How did maybe like the different personalities or different identities come to be, and everything. So, and it's, if you haven't already seen it, please watch it. Very good show. With any of these, you know, again, WandaVision wasn't bad, Loki wasn't bad. They're definitely essential parts for Doctor Strange that's coming out. But I think with this show in particular, it's a good, just like, starter show. Like, here's a clean slate, here's a new character, you don't have to know anything previously. Here you go. Here's a show. Here's some 6 episodes. Here's a show, period. And call it good. So that's kind of my final thoughts on it. Again, there shouldn't have been any spoilers in it, as far as I know. With just kind of like sharing what I know, and my thoughts on it. But let me know your comments down below. And I'm hoping, honestly, this kind of gets a season 2. I don't know if it will. It kind of left it to where it could, but it also couldn't. I don't know what they plan to do at, you know, with it at the end of everything. I have no idea, but we'll see. Maybe. I hope they do, though. I loved this show. I loved it. I honestly would watch it again, and it's the only Marvel show my boyfriend has watched. I had to make my boyfriend watch like certain finales, because I knew when it came to like the Marvel, like Doctor Strange, I knew we'd want to watch that movie. I knew he would have to watch Loki. Well, even for No Way Home, I knew he would have to watch the Loki season finale. And I knew for Doctor Strange, he'd have to watch WandaVision. That's like the only, like, otherwise he didn't want to watch, he hasn't been interested. He's like, I don't care. And then I have to give him synopses for Winter Soldier, because again, another one he didn't care about. So this is the only one he's watched, and he's like thoroughly enjoyed it. So if that's any other constellation for anybody else out there, I've had to be like the synopses person for that as well, for all these shows. So, you know, but feel free to leave your comments down below. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.